there. I hope I got the right number. Is this Stan's older sister? I wanted to introduce myself. My name's Kendra. I'm Stan's fiancée. Oh, hi there, Kendra. I'm glad I finally got the chance to talk to you. Yeah, you've got the right number. My name's Stacy. If I recall correctly, you just dropped by my parents' house with your parents to introduce them, didn't you? I'm really sorry I missed that. I wanted to come and meet you and your family, but my company dropped a last-minute trip out of the state on me that I couldn't get out of. Oh yeah, your parents told me all about that. It was really great news. I get it. You're one of those people who like sarcastic jokes, huh? Sorry, that one went over my head. I wasn't joking. Is that a continuation of the joke, or... No, I'm not joking. I'm really glad you weren't there. It's for the best that we don't meet. So you don't need to feel bad about anything. Okay, this is probably the weirdest first conversation I have ever had with a person in my life. Would you mind explaining why you don't want to meet me? Oh, of course. I'm glad you asked. So I have some super deep-seated trauma with men, right? When I was in high school, I went on my first date ever with a boy, and the very next day, he was sitting with my best friend at lunch. Oh, wow. I'm sorry to hear that. It must have been traumatic for you. So he was never serious about you after all? No, he actually was serious. I found out later that he and my best friend were actually cousins, but I only found that out after I had already dumped him and sent him messages around the school saying he was a boring date and a bad kisser. That event was so traumatic for me that I can't bear to see my romantic partners being friendly with any other women, even family members. You spread false rumors about him over a misunderstanding, but you are the one with deep-seated trauma? Yeah, that's exactly right. I'm glad you understand. Right. Well, you know that me and Stan are brother and sister, right? Are you telling me that you don't even want me to have pleasant conversations with him? Stacy, I am so glad that you understand my trauma so well. I heard from your parents that you and Stan are really close. Is that right? Yeah. I presume that's a problem for you? Yep. A big problem. I can't bear to see Stan being friendlier with other women in his family than he is with me. Uh-huh. Again, Stacy, I cannot tell you enough how much I appreciate you understanding my trauma. So I actually had a request to make of you. I would really appreciate it if you could never see Stan again. And not just in person. You can't text him either. I wasn't too thrilled with compromising this much with him, but I decided to be the bigger person and allow him 10 texts per month with your mom. So if there's ever something you want to tell Stan, you can tell it to your mom and have her contact Stan for you. Oh, and if her 10 texts are already used up, you'll have to go through me. Granted, depending on the content, I may or may not deliver the message to him. You understand, right? Let me see if I have this straight. You want me to never contact my own brother directly? Ever again? Yep, that's right. If I found out you were contacting him, that would really trigger my deep-seated trauma. Right. Look, Kendra, as much as I want to start off our relationship on the right foot, I'm afraid that is not a request that I'll be able to abide by. I understand you have this trauma thing, and I'll do my best to be considerate of you, but restricting which of Stan's family members he can contact? I'm sorry, but that's utterly ridiculous. Stacy, how could you say that to me? I thought you understood my trauma. Are you really going to ignore the deep-seated trauma I have and contact your brother against my wishes? Do you want me to have a panic attack? What if my panic attack causes a heart attack? Are you trying to kill me? What the, kill you? I also have to say that I am very disappointed in the weakness of your sibling relationship with Stan. What? Me wanting the ability to talk to my own brother is a weakness to you? Obviously, if you truly had a strong familial bond, then you wouldn't need to have direct contact with him. Just knowing that he was well taken care of by a fantastic woman who loves him more than anyone else should be enough. But you're disregarding my trauma and threatening my life by meeting with your brother, all because of your own insecurities. You trashed a high school boy's reputation over your misconception, but I'm the one who's insecure? All I'm doing is laying down boundaries. You don't get to determine how and when I contact my own brother just because you're marrying him. Don't victim shame me. I'm the one setting boundaries to cope with my deep-seated trauma. Stop using that term. You use it every 5 frickin' seconds. I will not give you another warning, Stacy. I am his fiancée and I have deep-seated trauma. You will never meet in person with your brother ever again. And if you want to send him a message, then you must either go through me or your mother. That is final. Stan, we need to talk.
We do?
Yes, and it's about your fiancée. Are you sure you want to marry her? Like, really sure?
Well, I did propose to her. I thought that would make my intentions clear. Can I ask what brings this on? Did something happen between you two? You were really happy for me when I first told you I was getting married.
Yeah, I was, but that was before I actually interacted with her. Kendra just texted me a few minutes ago.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, and what she said was shocking, to say the least.
Well, what did she say?
She told me to never speak to you again. She told me this insane story about her deep-seated trauma, but it didn't make any sense. I mean, she expects me to believe that she was traumatized over an incident from high school in which she ruined a boy's reputation for no reason.
Oh, yeah, she told me about that a while back too.
So you knew? Stan, I understand that this is the woman that you proposed to, but I feel like I need to say this is your sister. She seems like she is genuinely unwell.
I'm really sorry that she said that to you. Also, thank you for your concern. It means a lot that you would trust me enough to be so direct like that. Now, in Kendra's defense, based on my experience with her, I don't think she's unwell. I think she just worries too much sometimes.
You sound like you're not too surprised that she would tell me never to speak to you again.
Well, I guess you can say she's done something like this before. Not to blow my own horn, but I've always had a lot of friends, right?
Yeah, ever since you were a kid, you always had a huge circle of friends. You've been bringing them around the house for years now, but I still don't even remember most of their names. Even after you went to college, any free time you weren't studying, you were spending with friends.
Right, that's something that doesn't really sit too well with Kendra.
She doesn't like that you have friends?
It's not that. It's just that she's kind of the opposite type of person. She'd rather just have a few super close people that she knows really well than have a bunch of friends like me. So she can't comprehend my relationship with my friends. You know what I mean? I can't remember how many times she's gotten mad at me for spending a Saturday with my friends instead of her.
Wow, that must have been difficult for you.
Actually, that's the main reason I decided to marry her. Once she's my wife, I'm positive that she'll settle down a bit with the jealousy. I mean, what better way there is to prove my devotion to her than to vow to be there for her for the rest of my life? She won't have a reason to be jealous of my friends or family anymore.
I guess you've put quite a bit of thought into this, Stan. Okay, if that's how strongly you feel about her, then I'll respect your decision. You're right, she'll probably loosen up a little bit after your wedding.
Thanks for understanding, Stacy. So yeah, in the meantime, I wouldn't take anything she says about cutting off contact with me too seriously. I'll have her apologize to you at an appropriate time in the future. Though she shouldn't have said that to you.
Alright, that's fine. You can take your time. I'm in no rush for an apology. You take good care of Kendra then, got it? And try to hold off on making any new friends for a while.
Oh, do I have to? Alright, guess the next time I'll see you will probably be at our wedding, huh? I can't wait for you to meet Kendra in person.
Kendra, what is wrong with you? You came up from behind me and punched me in the back of the head. Oh, you're awake. I'm glad to hear that. How are you feeling? Think I'm feeling? My head frickin' hurts. You punched me so hard that I passed out. They had to call an ambulance to take me to the hospital. Oh my goodness, they took you to the hospital? Yeah, you knocked me unconscious. They want to do a CT scan to make sure I don't have any internal bleeding. But you can cut it with the pleasantries, Kendra. You put me in the hospital. Now explain yourself. I hadn't even been at the wedding for a half hour when suddenly I felt a sharp pain in the back of my head, and the next thing I know, I'm on the floor looking at the ceiling. Why did you do that to me? Don't you remember the last time we spoke? It was my deep-seated trauma. Oh, great, not this again. I walked into the room and saw a woman I'd never met talking to Stan, and all the memories of my pain and misery in high school came rushing back. I was sure that you were actually Stan's mistress and had come to break up the wedding. All the shame and rage and sorrow welled up inside me, and I started seeing red. My body started moving on autopilot. I grabbed the nearest heavy object and bashed you over the head with it. You don't seem like you regret anything at all. You haven't even said you're sorry. But I didn't do anything wrong. It was all a big misunderstanding. I would have never hit you if I knew you were Stan's sister. It was all my trauma's fault. You don't think you did anything wrong? You hit me so hard I lost consciousness. You're not going to evade responsibility for that just because of your supposed trauma. And what the hell? You saw a woman talking to Stan, and the first thing that came to your mind was Stan's having an affair with her? First of all, it is not supposed trauma. It is real trauma. I will not allow you to deny my lived experiences. Second, you knew about my deep-seated trauma, and still you violated the boundaries that I set for you. How could you be so insensitive? I believe that I deserve an apology for your flagrant disregard for my emotional well-being and safety. This is completely insane. Insane? That's ableist language. Screw you. You could have actually killed me just now. What was it that you hit me with anyway? A rock or something? No, just an empty vase. Oh, excuse me, it was just an empty vase. You expect me to apologize for violating your psychotic boundaries, but you don't think you need to apologize for a literal assault? Not a chance. I am the one who deserves an apology here, not you. What? How dare you? I went through the emotional labor of confiding in you about my lived experiences and deep-seated trauma, and you're still victim-shaming me? Are you intentionally fitting as many psychobabble nonsense words into your sentences as grammatically possible? You knew it was traumatic for me to see Stan talking to other women. I clearly laid down my boundaries for you, and you violated them on what was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. Therefore, it is only right that you apologize to me and promise that you will never violate my boundaries again. I swear, it's like your only source of vocabulary is the chapter on trauma of a psychology textbook written by a teacher's aide. How can you possibly be playing the victim right now? Because I am the victim. Wow. You know, Kendra, when you first texted me, I thought you were a complete psycho. But now, I don't think I went far enough. You are far worse than just a run-of-the-mill psycho. You need to be locked up in an institution. That is more than enough ableist language out of you, Stacy. There is no room in my life or Stan's life for such a bigoted person as you are. I am marrying your brother today, and you will never see him again.
I wouldn't be so sure that if I were you.
Huh?
Kendra, do you honestly believe that you haven't done anything wrong? I've taken the liberty of reading the conversation that you and Stacy just had. And to be quite honest, that really is how you feel, then I'm not sure I can do this anymore. I'm sorry, Kendra, but this wedding is canceled.
What? Wait a minute. Stacy? Or... oh no. Stan, is that you?
Looks like you finally caught on. Didn't you notice that he disappeared from the wedding chapel the moment that Stacy got taken away in the ambulance? That's because I went to the hospital with her. The wedding is canceled and our relationship is over. I'm breaking up with you. So no, you will not be marrying me today, or any other day.
Stan, no, you can't do this to me. You said you were gonna marry me. You said you didn't want me to have to worry about losing you anymore. You said that I was the most important person in the world to you. So how could you cancel our wedding and break up with me? Was that all just a lie?
No, Kendra, I meant every single word I ever said to you. I proposed to you because I loved you. I accepted your past, your jealousy, your controlling nature, all of that. Because I thought I could help you heal the damage that your past has done to you. I thought if I could show you that you didn't need to worry about losing me, that you could overcome your trauma and start looking towards the future rather than the past. I believed that right up until this very morning. Not only have my dedicated displays of love to you not helped heal your trauma, it almost feels like you've gotten worse. Kendra, you assaulted my sister. You hit her in the back of the head with a vase.
But I thought she was your mistress. What did you expect me to do?
That's it right there. That's exactly my point. You trust me so little that you immediately assumed that I was cheating on you. I can't marry anyone who doesn't trust me.
Stan!
I've done everything you ever asked me to do, Kendra. I erased all my female friends from college from my phone for you. I never went to any party or gathering where other women were present. I loved you and wanted to spend my life with you, so I was willing to make sacrifices for you. And after all of that, you go and assault my sister?
But Stan, it was all a simple misunderstanding. I didn't mean to hit your sister.
So you admit that you generally thought I was cheating on you?
Yeah, but just for a second.
Even 1 second is too long, don't you get that? You have no idea how much it hurts to know that the woman I pledged my love to doesn't even trust me.
That's not true. It's not that I don't trust you. It's just that, you're such an amazing guy. You're handsome, funny, hardworking. I always felt that you were out of my league. I was terrified of losing you.
And so you bashed my sister over the head with a vase? I don't know how I can make this any clearer to you, Kendra. You've gone too far. Your trauma has completely taken over you. So much so that you were willing to assault a person you didn't know within a few seconds of seeing them for the first time. I had no idea you're such a violent person.
I'm not a violent person. That's not fair. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this. Don't talk about me like I'm always going around and hitting random people wherever I go.
First time? Huh, that's a lie. You're not just controlling and violent. You're a liar too.
What are you talking about? I'm not lying.
When I got to the hospital with Stacy, I just so happened to see a friend of mine who I invited to the wedding. He told me he was walking downtown this morning when all of a sudden, someone came up from behind him and pushed him down the stairs. That was you, wasn't it?
Oh, don't be ridiculous. Why would I do a thing like that?
He also told me that he had been receiving a ton of texts from you lately. Multiple times a day, telling him to stay away from me. But right after he got taken to the hospital, the text stopped. He was so terrified that he hadn't even spoken to the police about it yet. He thought for sure you would either go after him again or take it out on me.
I can explain.
Don't bother. I don't want to hear it. Just like with Stacy, you're lucky that he wasn't seriously hurt, and that it doesn't appear that there'll be any lasting impacts to his health. Are you going to stand there and say you did all that for me? Even if that's true, I don't want any part of your psychosis. I mean it, Kendra, we're through.
Stan, please, can't we talk about this?
The only thing we're going to talk about from here on out is how you're going to be held responsible for what you did to Stacy and my friend.
What do you mean? What are you going to do to me?
I'm going to make you pay. Simple as that. You've only ever been on my good side up until now, so you may not realize this. But while I pride myself in being generous and forgiving to my family and friends, I show absolutely no mercy to anyone else who crosses me.
Stan, do not do this. I'll apologize for everything, okay? I'll go to Stacy and your friend's hospital rooms and I'll tell them I'm sorry. So please don't break up with me. I'm sorry I let my trauma get the best of me. If you could just work with me a little longer, I'm sure I'll overcome it in no time.
Again with the trauma nonsense. Are you ever going to give that up? Anyway, I've already compromised more than I should here for your sake. I'm not doing it anymore. You can sort out your trauma issues on your own now.
Stacy, what am I gonna do? Stan says he's gonna break up with me. He hasn't been back to our apartment since yesterday, and he just sent his lawyer over with a demand that I move out within 24 hours. I don't want to break up with him. I don't want to move out. Please, Stacy, you have to help me. In case you've forgotten, I am currently in a hospital bed recovering from the injuries that I sustained when you assaulted me. I had to get 3 stitches in the back of my head, which may not seem like a lot, but they are really uncomfortable. That's in addition to the splitting headache I still have. So if you want help moving out, you're gonna have to ask someone else. That's not what I meant. I want you to talk to Stan and tell him not to break up with me. I love Stan. I need him. Well, he doesn't love or need you, so I don't know what you want me to do about it. You put 2 people in the hospital on the day of your wedding. Do you really think Stan would stay with you after that? And that's not even considering the fact that you've been cheating on him. What? He told you about that? He sure did. After you assaulted us yesterday, he went to find all the evidence he could of your harassment campaigns towards me and his friends. He found all the evidence he needed of that, but also a few other pieces of evidence. Seems like every time I think my opinion of you couldn't possibly get any lower, you go and prove me wrong. Stop victim shaming me! It's not my fault I had to cheat on him. Oh, for the love of God, Kendra, don't tell me this is because of your trauma, too. He never respected any of my boundaries. I told him not to see his friends anymore, and he told me that he was fine with that, but then what did I find out? He was still seeing them in secret at least once a month. He crushed my heart and ripped open the wounds left by that boy in high school. I lost control. I felt so violated and abused, I had no choice but to cause him some of the same trauma that he caused me. So every time he went out with me and his friends, I went out with another man. He did this to me. It's all his fault. That boy didn't cause you any trauma, Kendra. What you're actually feeling is shame. Stop victim shaming me. He was the victim, you idiot, not you. All he did was talk to his cousin, and you ruined his reputation because of it. Then, when you realized the truth, you were overcome with shame over the viciously evil thing you did to him. That's why you invented your trauma narrative. To shut out your feelings of shame over realizing that you're just an impulsive, jealous, vindictive, and stupid woman. No, you're wrong. It was his fault for not telling me that my best friend was his cousin, just like it's Stan's fault for not telling me you were his sister. It was Stan's friend's fault for not respecting the boundaries I set for him. That's another thing. You don't just get to use the word boundaries to make other people do whatever you want. Look, I understand that maybe I went a teensy bit overboard, but it's all because I love Stan so much. I don't want to lose him. So please, I am begging you, give me another chance. We can call your family and Stan's friends together and have a discussion on what new boundaries we can set for you guys. Boundaries that we all agree on. You still don't feel like you've done anything wrong, do you? I realize that some people who are less understanding of the trauma I've been through may view my actions as inappropriate. Yes. Yeah, that settles it. You don't think you've done anything wrong. You go through all these mental gymnastics to interpret what happens in a way that removes any responsibility from yourself. Well, I'd say it's high time someone forced you to take some responsibility. And it looks like that responsibility falls to me. You may not think that you've done anything wrong, but I'd bet a year's worth of my salary that a judge and jury will have a different view of things. What are you saying? Are you gonna sue me? Did Stan ever tell you what it was I do for a living? No. I'm a lawyer. Oh, no. Oh, yes. Do you have any idea how much money I'm losing every day I'm stuck here in this godforsaken hospital? You're going to compensate me for my lost wages and much more. I've also decided to take up Stan's friend's case against you as well, pro bono. Please don't do that, Stacy. I'm already on the hook for a ton of money from the canceled wedding. If you sue me on top of that, I'll be ruined. Yeah? And how is that my problem? You don't seem to be aware of what sort of position you're in right now. You have successfully driven away the only person in this entire world who would have had pity on you, so don't expect any from me. We'll talk more once I'm out of the hospital. I suggest you start figuring out how to come up with a lot of money very soon. The first thing I did after getting out of the hospital was putting together a police report for both myself and Stan's friend. She was granted a speedy trial and found guilty on all counts. My next order of business was suing her for the costs of the wedding, hospital bills, and lost wages, which added up to around $50,000 in total. She went to her parents and begged them for help, so they agreed to loan her what she needed. Paying that back, however, is not going to be easy for a woman with a criminal record like her. I hope she takes this opportunity to learn that her trauma card isn't going to get her very far in this world.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Sean, I'm at my limit. I can't take this anymore. I've been taking care of your mom all this time by myself. You need to help out too.
Are you kidding? You want me to help you? Why should I? That's the sort of thing a wife does, and last time I checked, I'm the man of the house.
And I'm fine with taking on the brunt of the responsibilities, but I can't do it on my own. Your mom has dementia, and it keeps getting worse and worse. It's been 2 years since she got so bad that she couldn't live by herself anymore, Sean. Don't you think it's about time you considered placing her in an assisted living facility? This isn't just about me, remember? I'm concerned about getting your mother the amount of care that she requires.
How could you even think about suggesting that? You want me to just toss my own mother in a nursing home to rot? I could never do that to her.
First, that is totally not what I said, so please don't put words in my mouth. Second, if you're reluctant to send her to assisted living facility, I understand. How about hiring an elderly care professional to come to the house? It doesn't have to be every day. Even just someone over to help 3 days a week would be fantastic.
Hiring someone costs money, Linda. You, however, work for free.
I'm well aware that it costs money, Sean. You don't need to remind me. But it's not like we're doing that poorly financially. And I also know that your mother has a very sizable amount of savings. Couldn't you use some of that? Seeing as it is for her care, I don't think she'd have any problem with that.
Wait, why do you know about that?
You keep a pretty tight grip on her bank book, but I managed to catch a glimpse from over your shoulder when you were opening it up the other day. So I know that she has more than enough to be able to spend some of it on her care and still have plenty left over.
Oh, so you were spying on me? Well, regardless, you're not using that money. All of that money is gonna be mine someday. It's my inheritance. Every cent of that money that I use on my mom is one less cent that I'll have to use for myself. So no, there's no way I'll ever let you use that money.
Okay. Then at the very least, you need to step up and help me out. If you don't want to spend any money on her, then how about you give me a hand with her every now and then?
I can't help take care of my mom. I'm a man, Linda. I could never do anything like give her a bath or change her diapers. It makes me sick just thinking about it. So don't even bother to ask. Stop crying and keep doing everything like you've always done.
All right, well, if you don't want to do all the dirty work, what about just cooking her meals or something? Or, I don't know, just coming by to talk to her would be enough. I'm trying to tell you that I don't want you to put everything on my shoulders anymore.
And I'm telling you that I'm not gonna do it. I don't have that kind of free time. You expect me to give my all at work and help you out at home? How selfish can you be?
There you go again. Every time I ask you for help, you always use your job as an excuse. Is your work so important that you can't spare even a few minutes a day to help your mother?
Look, you just need to put on your big girl pants, grit your teeth, and just keep doing everything like you have been. It's not like my mom has all that much longer left anyway. Both of our lives will get way easier once I get my hands on my mom's inheritance, so just put up with it for a little while longer, okay?
This isn't about money, Sean. Please. All I want is to have some free time for myself. Do you have any idea what it's like to be constantly interacting with someone suffering from dementia? I'd like to see you try it sometime. It's lonely, frustrating, saddening, and I'm just plain at my wit's end.
Oh, please, don't try to play the victim with me. You're not the only one having a hard time. I've had to put up with so much crap from you ever since you started looking after my mom. I keep waiting and waiting for you to finally be able to balance the housework and taking care of my mom, but you're still completely incompetent. And let me tell you another thing. Just what is this crap you've been cooking lately? It's like you're making nothing but frozen dinners.
I'm on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Whenever your mom needs anything, I have to run over to go help her. You can't honestly expect me to be able to keep an immaculate household under that kind of workload.
Excuses, excuses, excuses. Is that all you've got? If you've got this much time on your hands to complain about how much work you have to do, why not spend a little time learning to do it better? I'm the one earning the income that allows you to be a housewife, and don't you forget that. You've got a job to do, and I expect you to do it.
Linda, what is going on with you? You didn't come out to see me yesterday. I haven't seen you in ages. I was really looking forward to having some time to catch up. What? I showed up to the restaurant 15 minutes early, but you never came. Then, right when I figured you had stood me up and I was about to leave, your husband comes waltzing into the room. If you're going to cancel on me at the last minute, at least have some decency to tell me personally. The last person I want to hear it from was your husband. Chelsea? What are you talking about? I don't believe this. You didn't cancel on me. You just completely forgot? Forgot about what? It was the worst night of my life. He started out by apologizing that you weren't gonna make it, so I started to walk back to my car. But then he tells me that he wants to treat me to dinner to apologize. So we sit down at the table and he immediately starts complaining about his work, his colleagues, his health, you. He just whined the whole time. I'm not a freaking therapist. Hold on, Chelsea. I'm sorry, I genuinely have no idea what you're talking about. We were supposed to meet up yesterday? I don't remember us talking about that. And Sean took you out to dinner? Huh? Yeah, we were supposed to meet up. Didn't Sean tell you? He was the one that asked me to go out with you in the first place. He said that you were so tired from taking care of his mother that he wanted me to spend some time with you. So he gave me a time in a restaurant and told me you would meet me there. This was all Sean's plan? No, Chelsea, he never said anything about that to me. He didn't? But that doesn't make any sense. Then again, nothing that happened last night made any sense. There I was, thinking I would get to have some girl-to-girl time with my best friend, but you canceled at the last second. And then I ended up having to spend the whole evening with your husband. I'm so sorry about all of that, Chelsea. I'm going to go ask him what happened right now. I'll text you back once I know more. Sean, I just got a text from Chelsea. Would you mind explaining to me just what you were doing? You used me to lure my best friend out to dinner? What in the world is going on?
Oh, sweet little Chelsea told you about last night, huh? Tell me, did she say anything about me to you? Like how I was a perfect gentleman and treated her to a wonderful evening?
Don't dodge the issue, Sean. Answer my question. You used me as bait to get my best friend to come out and meet you, didn't you? And you did all of this without saying anything to me. What do you think you're doing, Sean?
What's the big deal? All I wanted was to have a good meal for a change.
What?
I'm sick and tired of your sloppy cooking, Linda. I want real food, but I couldn't go out to eat by myself. That would just be embarrassing. That's when I got this great idea. I don't have to eat alone. I'll just call one of your friends to give me some company.
Are you out of your mind?
I'm out of patience from dealing with you. You made me have to eat out to get a decent meal. Someone has to take responsibility for that, and if it isn't you, it may as well be someone close to you.
You are out of your mind. Tricking my best friend into having dinner with you so you could complain to her about everything, including me? You're a real jerk, Sean.
Whoa, 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 who are you calling a jerk, Linda? I'd say that I'm one of the least jerky husbands out there.
What? You're gonna have to explain that one.
You've been on my back for months saying you want some time to yourself, right? Now, I would have loved to let you go and have a drink with your friend, but you have to take care of my mom. So out of the kindness of my heart, I went out drinking with your friend for you. I heard about all the stupid crap she's been doing lately. I'll tell you all about it later while you're making my dinner. so you can get the full experience of drinking with your friends while at the same time doing your housework.
Are you being serious right now? Is this some kind of a prank?
Man, though, that Chelsea is a knockout. She's always been pretty hot, but I think she looks better now in comparison to how much you've let yourself go. A delicious meal with a beautiful woman. It was heavenly. You should have her give you some fashion and makeup tips. With her help, you might look a little less frumpy.
You want me to clean the house, cook our meals, and take care of your mom, all while looking like some Instagram model? If that's what you want, then help me out sometime, Sean.
How many times do I have to tell you, Linda? I ain't doing anything to help you with my mom, so stop asking.
Fine. I don't want or expect anything from you anymore. I don't care what you do from now on, but leave Chelsea out of it. Never ask her out to dinner again.
Uh-oh, is that jealousy I detect? Are you bitter that Chelsea and I grew closer to one another over a nice meal? Then you had better become a better housewife, Linda. None of this would have happened if you could cook semi-decently. Thanks for taking care of all the funeral arrangements, Linda. Oh, and thanks so much for taking care of my mom for me all these years. It must have been super hard on you taking all of that stuff on by yourself.
Why, yes, Sean. Yes, it was. It was quite difficult for me. I was 100% responsible for caring for my elderly mother-in-law, who was suffering from severe dementia without cease for 5 years. It's strange, though, that you would wait until right now to express any words of gratitude towards me.
Meh, I figured you earned a compliment. Thanks to you, I had a really easy time of things, and now I can start living my brand new life without any regrets.
Huh? Your new life? What are you talking about?
Now that the funeral's over, there's something I've been waiting a very long time to tell ya. We're getting divorced. I left a stack of divorce papers in the kitchen. Go and sign them as soon as you get a chance.
You want to divorce me?
Yeah, and I've been waiting for this moment for ages. I've already signed all the places I need to. Once you're finished, I'm going straight over to the courthouse to submit them. And do hurry up, won't you? I want to get married to my sweet little Chelsea as soon as possible.
Chelsea? Sean, hold on just 1 second. That was a joke, right? Not the part about the divorce, the part about Chelsea. You're not getting married to her, are you?
Joking? Why would I be joking about the happiest moment in my life? I hate to say this, Linda, but who am I kidding? I love being able to finally tell you this. Sweet little Chelsea is madly, deeply, truly in love with me. What kind of man would pass up an opportunity to be with a babe like her?
What?
Remember when I took her out to dinner a few years ago? I know you were totally oblivious to this, but the truth is that we've been meeting up in secret ever since then. And it wasn't just me asking her out either. It feels like most of the time she was the one asking me out. And not once did she ever ask me to bring you along. In fact, she never even mentioned you at all. You don't mean anything to her, Linda. All she wants is me. You see, it's obvious that she's in love with me. I'm not dense enough to miss all those obvious signs.
Well, Sean, I'm glad that you've been enjoying your life these past several years. While you were out getting all lovey-dovey with my best friend, I was stuck at home caring for your dying mother. And now, on the evening of her funeral, you go and drop all of this on me at once?
Sorry, babe, but I just can't hold back anymore. I'm freaking losing my mind over here. I mean, think about it. I've got one of the baddest hotties in the city in the palm of my hand. She could have any guy she wants, but she chose me. I'll bet that right now my mom is looking down at me, feeling so proud of her son for landing a catch like my sweet little Chelsea.
Uh-huh. So, you're serious about divorcing me, aren't you?
dead serious, and I want to get it over with as quickly as we can. Within the week, if possible. Now that my mom's dead, I don't have any reason to keep you around. Don't worry, I'll take care of you. You'll get a fair amount of alimony from me. So don't be a whiny brat about this, okay? Just be a good little girl and sign those divorce papers. Oh, and make sure you get a good gift for our wedding. Chelsea's your best friend, after all. I would appreciate it if you'd wear a mask, though. Not because I'm afraid of getting sick. I just don't want your ugly mug ruining my wedding.
That's a mighty nice plan you've built up for yourself there. Would you like to know Chelsea's opinion on the whole thing?
Huh?
She's sitting right next to me, and she's laughing so hard I think she might just have an aneurysm. In her words, "That creepy old geezer thinks I'm in love with him? What a pathetic delusional loser."
Hey, she would never talk about me that way. She loves me. You're making all that up. She's not really sitting next to you. She's not really sitting next to you, is she?
She is, actually. She sent me a text immediately after the funeral was finished. She said she wanted to meet up and have a talk with me. So I went to a nearby cafe and, well, here we are.
What? But why would she be going out of her way to meet up with you? You're her rival in the battle for my heart. You're nothing but an obstacle to her.
I'll have you know, Linda is my best friend in the entire world. I will never see her as an obstacle, no matter what life has in store for us. And yes, I was the one who reached out to her and asked her to meet me here. After all, my best friend was finally free from having to take care of her dying mother-in-law. She can relax and enjoy life for the first time in 5 years. How could I not be with her in such a happy moment? I'm her best friend.
Wait, Chelsea, is that really you?
Oh, now it's just Chelsea, is it? What happened to my sweet little Chelsea? Ugh. Every time you called me that, you made me want to puke. Blah.
But huh?
If you must address me, you can call me ma'am. I swear to God, if you call me sweetheart or angel one more time, I'm going to tear you limb from limb, you creepy old geezer.
But but ma'am, why are you talking so, so mean to me right now? You aren't usually like this. I mean, you really do love me, don't you? You always acted so much sweeter to me during our secret little rendezvous.
Rendezvous? That's a joke, right? Who would ever fall in love with a dirty old man like you?
Well, you did, ma'am. You fell in love with me, right? And you want to marry me so we can be together forever. That's why you kept meeting up with me for dinner all these years while keeping it a secret from my wife.
I'm sorry. Didn't Linda tell you what I said about you earlier? For the record, I used a lot worse words to describe you than creepy old geezer, but let's keep this conversation G-rated, shall we? So no, I don't love you. I actually thoroughly despise you to the very core of my being. You've been treating my best friend like a slave for all of these years. I had to scarf down 20 antacids every time I went to dinner with you because the stress of looking at your ugly face gave me heartburn.
How can you say that to me? Don't forget that you were the one who invited me out most of the time. Is this some weird hard-to-get act? I thought our relationship was beyond that point.
I'm not hard to get. I'm impossible to get for you. The only reason I ever went out to dinner with you was to help out Linda. This was the only way in the world that Linda could ever get some peace and quiet time all to herself. She gave up hope of you ever caring about her and stopped asking. So I started asking you out in order to force her to take some time for herself. All those smiles and giggles I gave you during those meals, they were all fake. I was acting.
No, that can't be true.
It was all worth it though, because thanks to my noble sacrifice, Linda was able to be totally free, if only for a little while. She called in an elderly care service to look after your mom for her, and while they were at the house, she was able to read a book, watch TV, enjoy a nice meal, and even just catch up on sleep. So yeah, don't be delusional. I didn't want to go out to dinner with you. I tolerated it. Every single one of our dates was just a cover for Linda to be able to relax.
I don't believe you! You mean you were deceiving me? You didn't actually have any feelings for me?
Trust me, Sean. I have guys lining up to talk to me at every club I go to, and even the least attractive one of them is 5 times the man you are. Linda is an absolute saint, though. She told me that I didn't have to do this for her, and tried to get me to stop. But after seeing how much stress she was under with a senile mother-in-law and an uncaring husband, I had to do anything I could for her.
This can't be!
A few times, she even tried to hand me some money afterward to pay me for my time. But, like, you were taking me to some of the most expensive restaurants in town. Getting awesome food for free was all the things I needed, so I turned her down every time. So, again, for the record, this whole scheme was 100% my idea. Linda had no part in it. You had better not try to take out your frustration over this on her. Got it?
But Chelsea, I was serious about you. I was going to divorce Linda so I could be with you. I already signed the divorce papers. It's over between us. I've sacrificed everything for you. Are you just gonna let that sacrifice be in vain?
You making some of the dumbest decisions possible isn't my fault. I will never marry you, ever. I would rather die. You made your bed, now lie in it. Divorce Linda and set her free once and for all. She's gonna come and live with me now. If I ever see you come within even 1 city block of Linda, I'm gonna track you down and slap some sense into you.
What's going on, Linda? What is this thing you sent me? What business do you have demanding any money from me?
I have every right to demand that money from you, actually. The amount you see on the bottom of that page is nothing more than my fair share of your assets. That, and a share of your mother's inheritance.
You idiot! Are you serious? You don't have any right to my mother's inheritance! So what if you were her babysitter for the last 5 years of her life? You're still nothing but her daughter-in-law. I, however, am her son! Her only son, and as such, I'm entitled to everything! Didn't you even do the bare minimum amount of research before you sent me this thing?
Allow me to turn that question right back at you, Sean. Didn't you do the bare minimum of research before texting me? If you did, you noticed that there were very important changes in the law several years ago.
Huh? What change?
It was made so that family members who spend a certain amount of time caring for their relatives are also entitled to a claim of certain percentages of their estate when they pass away. It doesn't matter if I'm not her blood relative. All that matters is that I was her caretaker. There's not a single thing on those documents that isn't clearly defined in the applicable inheritance law.
Really?
Yes, really. If you want to know more, you can go ahead and shoot sweet little Chelsea a text and ask her. After all, she's the lawyer who's representing me in our divorce proceedings. I bet she would do a much better job at explaining the relative sections of the law to you.
Wait, what? Chelsea's a lawyer?
You've been going out to dinner with her at least once a month for the past several years, and you never even asked her about what she did for a living?
Well, she was always so intently listening to what I had to say while we were out together. She's a really good listener, and she was always really engaged in our conversations.
Yep, she's a great lawyer. She knows just how to get a person to go blabbing about all the information she wants to get out of them. I would hate to be on the receiving end of her lawyering skills. Sucks to be you.
Damn it! Damn it, this sucks! I don't care if your haughty friend is a lawyer. I'm not giving you one single solitary cent of my inheritance. I'll have you know I just found my mother's will in her desk the other day. I know that when I open this, it's gonna say in big, bold letters that I get everything she owned.
Wow, you found your mom's will. What's it say?
Don't rush me, I'm getting there. Let's see. To whom it may concern, I, Cheryl Longworth, having received the loving care of my son and his wife in the waning years of my life, do hereby bequeath. Are you ready, Linda? Here it comes. Half of my estate to my daughter-in-law, Linda. What the? She left half of her estate to you? Why would she do a thing like that?
Well, thank you so much for reading that for me, Sean. I had no idea that your mother was planning to be so generous to me in death. I was only going to sue you for the minimum amount I'm entitled to for caring for your mom, but I think I'll withdraw that suit now.
No! That's okay, go ahead and sue me!
No, Sean, I think I'll take half of everything instead. After all, that's what your mother wanted. You wouldn't want to go against your mother's dying wishes, would you?
Screw her dying wishes, I want the money!
I'll have to let Chelsea know about the will as soon as possible. She'll need to do some more paperwork for me. I think I'll let her handle everything from here on out, actually.
Hey, we don't need to get lawyers involved in this, do we? Can't we settle this like adults?
Oh, you want to settle? That's fine with me. I'd like to avoid a lengthy trial if possible. Here are my terms. Screw you, pay me. Since Sean went to the trouble of finding his mom's will for me, the divorce proceedings didn't take long. I received half of his mom's estate, as she had it in her will, and also half of Sean's assets. My friend Chelsea is letting me live in the guest room of her awesome house for the time being. I think I'll stay here for a while. It's great being able to have some pleasant company for a change. As for my ex-husband Sean, having never cooked a single thing in the entire time we've been married, he was at a loss for how to feed himself with me gone. He ended up going out to eat for every meal, which both expanded his waistline and shrunk his pocketbook. He's burning through the remaining half of his assets at an incredible pace. From what I hear, he's already used up just about everything his mom left for him. I'm glad his mother never lived to see what a pathetic little wretch she'd become.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.